Oh boy. Well, today the Supreme Court heard arguments as to if the Voting Rights Act of 1965 is actually racist to non black voters. And the six conservative judges, including Clarence Thomas, seem to agree that yes, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 has, quote, outlived its usefulness. And Brett Kavanaugh even went so far as to say that any laws that have to do with trying to make equality work need to have time limits, and that the time limit for the Voting Rights Act may well be up. Since 2013, there have been several Supreme Court rulings that have diminished the original power of the 1965 law, starting with Shelby County versus Holder, which said that it was unconstitutional for the federal government to have to approve states' voting laws. So that meant that the states could come up with whatever kind of voting laws that they wanted, and there wasn't like a check on that from the federal government. Within hours of that opinion, certain states started making voting more restrictive, adding things like voter ID requirements and changing the times that you can vote to be less convenient. In 2021, there was a case called Brnovich versus the DNC, and the Supreme Court opinion on that made it very difficult for a plaintiff to win a lawsuit challenging voter restrictions if they claimed that the voter restrictions were racially discriminatory. And the case they're hearing right now is Louisiana versus Callias, and if the Supreme Court sides with the state of Louisiana, it would mean that states can draw maps that diminish the voting power of Black Americans. So, and it looks like they are going to side with the state of Louisiana. Which would mean that they could draw racially discriminatory maps. Worst case scenario here is that Republicans can pick up 20 to 30 new congressional seats with newly drawn, more discriminatory maps. That's where we are.